Hey everyone, welcome back to the Soft Reset Podcast, your Love Island Watch Club for Season 8 USA. I am Clara, one of your co-hosts, and I collect pink synthesizers and oddly shaped eyeshadow palettes.
You need to make one of those eyeshadow decks or cyber decks.
I'm dying. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have the one that I showed you. Somebody made a Polly Pocket cyber deck that shows you makeup tutorials as you do your makeup, and
Oh
I
my
died. I
God.
was like, this is everything, and I need one. And she might start manufacturing them, so I am very excited about that. But yes,
Incredible.
100%.
So, hi, I'm Jofi. I'm your other co-host. And I collect, speaking of clamshells, vintage computers. And my favorite one is my Y2K teal iBook, which looks like the one from Legally Blonde, but not orange, because those are really rare, actually. And then I'd say screenshots of really funny, like turns of phrase that
Oh
make
my
me laugh, that are
God.
kind of absurd. So I have kind of a folder of them that's like, um, I think we have one actually on the iHeart Files website where it says currently, it's from Wikipedia. It says currently, and then like superscript when question mark.
I love that. I need to see all of them like
I need
displayed.
to organize them. They're really
Yes.
all over the place. I really need to organize my desktop. I
Yeah.
think we should have a desktop cleanup party, soft
You
reset
will be
style.
very proud of me. I organized my desktop. I had about 300 screenshots on my desktop. I'm
Wow.
not joking.
I think
It
that's about where
was
I'm at right now. I need to do
a
this
lot.
probably on the airplane when I'm traveling next week. It's something that I
Yeah.
like to do on the airplane.
Me too. It's the perfect blend of like mindless and like this is the time. This is the time that I'm sitting here for hours with no Wi-Fi and
Mm-hmm.
just yeah, it's true. That is my desktop organizing or file organizing. My download folder is also out of control. So, digital
Same.
hoarding, it's part of
Digital hoarding.
ADHD.
Love digital hoarding. We love a liminal space. And
Yeah.
then when those two meet, it's like perfect hyper focus time.
Absolutely. So, we just posted our first episode of this podcast. So, if you
Woo!
haven't already checked out episode 1, where we give first impressions of the cast and then also just like recap that first monster episode, that's up. And it gives you a little bit of background about Jofi and myself as well and our projects. But if you haven't watched it, don't worry, no problem. You're welcome here. We are the soft reset room in the villa. So, we are here to decompress you, to relax you, to give you a nice soft place to land after the drama of the day. And, we have taken residency, an unofficial artist residency in the Love Island Villa. And welcome, because, somehow you found us. And we're very happy that you're here.
Yes, and I just want to add, if you are one of those people like us who hates being told to relax and finds that triggering, which actually came up on an episode. I
Yep.
forget which one exactly, but we're not demanding anything of you. We're merely offering a place where you're invited to get comfy and cozy and unwind a little bit after a potentially stressful watch.
Yeah,
Or
I
perhaps
think.
you're just stressed about life in general and
Mhm.
you're using Love Island to escape from your real life, as we all do. Um,
So me.
this is a place for all of that escapism. And I would say our podcast, I think of it as a kind of it's like a halfway house between leaving the villa and re-entering the real world. It's like
Yeah.
a space to kind of keep one foot in the villa and kind of re-enter society a little bit.
So true. I love that. And yeah, that was so me this week. I had such a stressful week and I literally was so grateful for this show. I was like, I'm so happy that I have Love Island to watch to take my mind off of like the insane shit that was going on. So I'm honestly grateful. And I'm also very
Totally.
grateful for this podcast to be able to talk about it with one of my best friends and with you guys. So if you have any
Yes.
input, comments, whatever, we love to hear what you think. So feel free to join the conversation. We're going to talk about episodes 2 through 5 today. There's so much that happened. I feel like a lot of things have changed, a lot of things have shifted since last time.
Mhm.
And I can't wait to jump into episode 2. So, Jofi, I know
Hell
you
yeah.
are the, resident note taker and very organized. So, would you like to lead us off with episode 2?
I would love nothing more. I don't have a ton of notes for episode 2. This was the episode where we have the two new bombshells enter. So we've got Kata and we've got Gabrielle. So a new
Mm-hmm.
boy and a new girl. And we have this new format where each
Oh,
of
God.
them takes two islanders, two of the OGs with them to a new place called Paradise Cove, where they essentially are in a throuple for 24 hours and they have to sleep in one giant bed together, meaning there's two rooms at Paradise Cove, one with the girl bombshell, one with the boy bombshell.
And
It
a very
is
big bed.
a gigantic bed. Like we're talking like a extra wide California king situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This bed was probably built special for this episode. I've never seen a bed like this in my life. It is unfortunately not heart shaped. Missed
True.
opportunity.
Yeah. So true.
But this was the part where Matt, my partner, sort of walked in. Oh no, I asked him to come over and watch Gabrielle because he is kind of obsessed with Brazil and I thought he would think this character was funny. And he was like, "Why are they being so awkward? Like they're just awkwardly sitting on the bed. They like have no
I
riz." And I was
know.
like, "Well, they're all, doing this for the first time. This has never happened on Love Island. This is a stranger. They're suddenly being asked to sleep in a bed. Like it's like giving porno a little bit. Like it's giving kind
It
of
was weird. I'm
it
sorry,
was
but
really
I was
weird.
like I was like imagining myself in the situation and they were so awkward. It was so awkward. I feel like the bombshell, like Gabrielle was more awkward than either of the girls and was just like,
100%.
yeah. And I just thinking of you and your Gabrielle impression from the first episode and I was like, "Oh my God, this is cringe. Like this is I can't. I
He
and
was like doing
immediately
these sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. I mean, I was just gonna say, I recall last episode, I was like, yeah, he's so hot. I was like, it went down. Like
Oh
my
yeah. I
boner
got the
went
ick a little
away.
bit.
Me
I
too.
got the ick. Or as Gabrielle himself said in episode 4, spoiler alert, it gave me some turn off.
Yeah, it did. It gave me
So
so much turn off,
it gave
and
me lots of
yeah.
turn off. He was, I wrote down, moving like a snake, not in a metaphorical way, but in a literal way. He was like doing these like body rolls for some reason
I know.
while talking to them. He was like holding a glass of champagne and being like just you can't really see my torso right
No,
now, but you can
you're
imagine what
doing
I'm
it.
doing.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, why is he doing body rolls? Like this is so weird. So much smooching this season. They're making out so
Yeah.
much. And then I would say the other highlight, which has probably been memed, but I haven't really been as online this season as last season for my own mental health, was the other bombshell room where Kata, Zach, and Bryce all share a bed. And Kata spoons with Zach leaving Bryce alone on his
Yes.
side of the bed,
I
just
know,
like
that was funny.
awkwardly sleeping by himself.
But I was like, fair. You know what I mean? Like it was just really awkward, and because I guess in the Gabrielle room he was trying to share both of them, but then in the
Mm.
other room it was just like, no, we're good, like you're out. And when we left off last time, I was trying to come to terms with like my first impressions of Kata, and even in that moment I was like, I don't know, like I still at that point was just like, I don't know about her. And automatically, because she chose Zach, I'm like, questionable,
Red
because
flag.
what are you seeing? Why? Why him? Like, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
really a weird thing. It was very awkward. I was not into it. And the only thing I guess for me is that it was interesting that Bea completely ditched Sean, and
Hmm.
and they didn't get an opportunity to tell their Love
Hmm.
Island partners because everybody
Hmm.
had already coupled up, so they didn't even get a chance to tell their couple that they were taking a little séjour into paradise.
Yeah, they did like a
So
Casa Amor in episode 2 already.
yeah, they just
Wild.
took off.
They
So
just
that was
went straight for it.
yeah, so that obviously left all the people in the villa being like, what the heck? And I think Sean was definitely the most disturbed because he was like, I don't get it. I thought we had a good connection.
Hmm.
And then his
Yeah,
thing was like, I want somebody that stands on green. And I was like, Sean, me too. Me too.
100%.
You know,
Yeah,
and
I really like that
I
how
liked
he put
it.
it. We
Me
all need
too.
someone who stands on green for us.
Me, I 100% at that moment, I was like, yes, your facial hair is not, not it.
Very tragic.
And I really wanted to see, I was thinking about your Love Island makeover concept, and I was like, I would love to see what he would look like without it. Because I think
Hmm.
he's really good looking. But
Yeah,
anyway, I was like, fuck yeah. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna be like, with my partner, like, I need someone to stand on green. Like, I totally, that is like, for me, the epitome of what I need in a relationship is the guy who stands on green. And
yeah,
anyway, I love that. I love this show for
100%.
that. Hmm.
I love that too. I love that too. And then on the note of Kata, like I will say, even 5 episodes in right now,
Hmm.
I feel like I don't know who she is. Like
Hmm.
I know nothing about
Agreed.
her. I can't tell what her personality is. I get the sense she's either getting a bad edit and
Yeah.
or she's very much of like a sponge personality where she kind of or kind of a chameleon where she's
Uh-huh.
kind of different depending on who she's with. And
Yeah.
it's clear like she's very family oriented. She's pretty like she's kind of a homebody, it seems like. She likes being from New Hampshire. She didn't like modeling in New York because it was too
Right.
fast paced. She's a
Yeah.
server in her home state. But I feel like it's giving a little bit, and this, I'm open minded to her changing my mind, but it's giving a little bit of like her personality is being hot.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
she's so like willowy and gorgeous. She's like 5'9", and then she wears heels, and she has this incredible face and these gorgeous eyes, and she just looks unreal. And so it's like,
Hmm.
do you need a personality if you look like that? No.
No. No.
Um,
No,
but
I
a
totally
little bit, it's
agree.
giving a little like I just feel like she has a weak personality, which I know sounds so harsh,
No, it's
but
true.
like I
The
would
only
never say
thing,
that to somebody to their face.
yeah, of course.
But I just find her a little boring, and I want to see more of her come through, and I don't know if it will.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're right. I think that that is the thing, where I forget who it was, but like one of those Pinterest like quotes that the person probably never actually said, whereas it's like, oh, I'm so grateful that like I wasn't born pretty. I think it's attributed to like Marilyn Monroe, which
Oh yeah,
is, but
I've
I
seen
get
that.
that because I needed to develop a personality because I'm not one of those girls that just wakes up and is just like, wow, you're just so pretty. And I'm grateful for that because it forces you to build your character. And it came
Mhm.
up later, spoiler alert, also, but like with Bea, when they're having that conversation. And it's like, there's actually a lot of, because she referred to herself, Bea later referred to herself, and then Michelle also referred to themselves as, sorry, not Michelle, fuck, what's her name?
Melanie.
Melanie. So, sorry. So it came up later when Bea and Michelle, and oh my god, it came up later. So it came up later when Bea and Melanie are having a conversation about how they're both ugly ducklings and like late bloomers. And I think there's something like really cool about identifying as like a late bloomer or a black swan or something like that, where it's just like, yeah,
100.
because you take that time to build up other things that make you interesting. And
Yeah.
I also think like the most interesting thing about her so far, about Kata, is like her name is beautiful, and she also plays a lot on that. It's like, oh yeah, like everyone's like, oh, what an original, beautiful name. It's like,
Yeah, and I find
yes.
it so funny, and I feel like you're giving Melanie a taste of her own medicine because Melanie keeps forgetting Kata's name and calling her Katie or being like, "What's her name
Yes,
again?" I
it's
forget.
true. That's so
I'm like, "Do you
true.
really forget, or is this a power
Yeah.
game?"
I know. But anyway, we'll see. Like I like how when Corbin was trying to kiss her, she was like, "No." I mean, that to me that's like the most, I guess, like that we saw her personality. But
Yeah,
then, also I just like second guess a lot of those things where it's like, "Oh, is that some kind of game? Is that some kind of like, is she defensive? Like, what
right.
is happening?" Because if
Yeah,
I
so this
was
is
that,
episode
like,
four where
yeah.
and we can circle back
Yeah.
to three, but
Anyways,
in
yeah.
episode four, I just want to say on that note, I had a thought where I was confused too about what she was trying to do with that by resisting a kiss on the first day
Mhm.
with the new guy. And then she later says that she was sort of accidentally playing hard to get. And I think like what happened, my impression of it was she's like quite shy actually in a
Yeah.
certain sense. And like she's not super physical and she like wanted to get to know him first and didn't feel comfortable kissing him right off the bat. But
Yeah.
then as a result, it comes off as like, you can't just get me. I'm not easy. But it
Yeah.
wasn't coming from that place from the get go, which I thought was
True.
really interesting.
Yeah, like is it that you have boundaries or is it that you're insecure like sexually or physically? Because a lot of the time too, it's like you can be very beautiful and statuesque and like all of that, but that doesn't mean that you're in your body. It doesn't mean, and then, to be really in touch like in a physical way or like hot, there's like a
Yeah.
difference between being beautiful and being hot. And whereas
Yeah.
I guess like Kenzie is the opposite of that because she's like so in her body and she's
Mm-hmm.
pretty hot, like that's come
Mm-hmm.
out a lot. She's
Mm-hmm.
very
Mm-hmm.
comfortable and you
Yes, she
know
is. There. Okay, so episode three, I guess what I didn't say is they come back from Paradise Cove.
okay, yeah, and they have to,
I guess I skipped over that part. They come back
yeah,
from Paradise Cove,
okay,
are reintegrated into the villa. Sean is upset because Bea
yes,
has jumped ship to Gabe.
okay.
And Bea and Gabrielle are really cute. When Gabrielle has to pick between the two girls, he picks her and they make out for a little bit too long in front of everyone.
Yes.
And this is kind of the theme of this season, lots and lots of smooching.
Yes. Lots of
Um, and
smooching.
then, you know, Kata and Zach are then coupled up, which leaves Sean and Kenzie single.
Yes.
And I guess the thing that I also didn't bring up was Kenzie being super pissed off about Zach and
Yeah.
refusing to let him see her eyes ever again because her
Yes.
eyes were the only feature of hers that he had complimented.
It's
And so
true.
every time he walks by her, she's like,
It's so funny.
and honestly, she's just great TV. Like, I hope she stays on a little longer because she's very entertaining. I don't think
Yeah,
she's
I was.
particularly toxic. I don't love her, but I find her very fun to watch.
Yes, I was very skeptical of her the last episode that we did. Like, my first impression was like, oh, whatever. Especially because she chose Zach. So that's just an
Yeah.
automatic, like, side eye for me. But I do really appreciate her. I think she's really funny. She definitely is, like, a little unhinged, and it does end up making for good TV. I worry for her because I also am not sure that her picker is like working properly. So it's, but who knows? Like maybe she has her own goals in what she wants from a relationship and she's going for that. And so I'm going to just like hold out. And I think for now, like she'll stay because she does pretty much. I mean, her and Bea, I guess, have, well, no, they all do. Like Michelle has a personality. There are some personalities on
Melanie.
this season. Oh my God, why? It's like ingrained. Melanie. Okay, so yeah, Melanie also has quite a strong personality, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just yeah, but like Kenzie really has grown on me. So
I
that's
agree. I
interesting.
agree. Like, I still think she's kind of got crazy eyes. She's, very Southern, which I
Mhm.
personally just don't relate to as much. Um, but she's great TV and she
Yeah.
makes for good plot lines. And I like that she's interested in a variety of guys and she doesn't just have like some, you know,
Yeah, like a
I don't know,
type.
like some type that's like
Uh-huh.
unattainable or doesn't exist that she's like holding out for or something like that. She's like
Yeah.
open to getting to know people based on vibes.
Yes. And she's a small town girl, you know? She's like
Yeah,
getting out of her shell, she's taking a risk. It's like I think that that's cool. Like she's got a lot of
it's true.
confidence and
Although somebody
she's,
noted, I think it was on Reddit, that the school she went to for the last 4 years was not in a small town. It's like in metro Atlanta.
oh,
So all of these
interesting.
things about her like not being like
Ah.
leaving her small town first time to be on the show is like
Uh-huh.
not entirely true.
That's weird. Okay, that's
So I think she's maybe playing up that part of her personality, but like
interesting.
she's been in a city for a while
Okay,
now.
gotcha.
It's a southern
Hmm.
city and she might be
Mm-hmm.
very sheltered and like not leave her
Mm-hmm.
campus and only be in her sorority or whatever, and that's fine
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Huh. Well,
So I also wrote down this episode that I was finding her voice very annoying, just like
yes.
her kind of fake excited,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
her like loudness, not her general
Yeah.
voice. It's just like her affect is a little grating, but
That's
you always
literally
have
what
to
I
make fun of
said
that.
the first time
You
I
said it
saw
from the
her.
beginning.
It was
You
like
did.
it's that energy. I'm like, what is happening? Because it's
Yeah.
like not reading the room or something. I don't know, but yeah,
No, exactly.
I
So
get
then,
it.
yeah, the only other major thing that happens this episode is Sincere sort of quote unquote secretly pulling Kata for a chat without telling Melanie.
Yes.
And in this chat, they discuss nothing. It's not a particularly horny or flirty chat. They talk
Yeah.
about their dogs. They talk about how they both have pit bulls, one named Coda, one named Kaya. So we've got Coda, Kaya, Kata,
That's
and
insane.
Sincere.
That's so cute.
So cute.
I
So then,
love
and I
that.
confirmed, I looked up Kata's dog on Instagram and she's very cute. So,
Oh.
and I
So
love
does she
that she
wait, wait,
has like
wait. Does she have an Instagram, like a separate account for her dog?
I don't think so. I think I
Okay.
just saw the dog on her Instagram
Okay,
account.
gotcha. Okay, because that would be a clue. But, you know.
A clue.
Well, just like I don't really understand her motivations. Like I,
Oh, like is she on Love Island to make her dog famous? Is that
yeah, or like to me, like how badly does she want, like what is she after? Like I just like kind of looking at them and being like, what are your motivations? Because and not that somebody can be singly motivated, right? Like I'm sure that they
right?
all have like, but there's some that are more especially I think after seeing After the Villa, it's like there are some that are more like I am here as a means to an end. And
Yeah,
then there are some people who are like, no, like I actually am here for love. And then also that. And I think that that separates, like, if we look at historically some of the people like Serena and oh my gosh, what was
Cordell.
her? Yeah, like I believe that they were really there for the right reasons. Like I believe in them so much. And it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, and also now I'm sure they make a good living like off of being on the show, but that's very
Cordell and his
different.
Cheez-Its like brand deal,
Exactly.
which he was transparent about from
Absolutely.
day dot. Is that what the Brits say on Love
Yeah.
Island UK? Day dot.
Yeah. They
He
know.
was transparent about the Cheez-Its career goal from
Absolutely.
day dot, and I just appreciate that. He didn't pretend, he didn't want to be a brand ambassador, but he also,
Yeah.
really was super genuine with his connection with Serena, and I think
Yeah.
they're still together, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that if they had said
So
to him, you can either have the Cheez-Its deal or have her, he would have chosen her. Like that's it. Like that's all that I'm saying. I want them to have both, but like it's the transparency like you said, and also just like, and with her, I just wonder if I think it's part of like the kind of like closed offness or something. It's like, are you just showing up because you want to be an influencer? You don't, you know what I mean? You don't want modeling's not for you. She doesn't want to hustle. It's like, there's like these kind of red flags.
mm-hmm.
I just like to analyze the kind of like motivations and stuff. And I think it's
100%.
interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
100%. Oh, and speaking of motivations to be on the show, okay.
mhm.
I want to talk about Bryce for a minute
Yeah, please.
because I wrote down in episode 3, is Bryce good?
I had the
And I
same
mean that
thought.
in all senses of the word. Is he okay? First of all.
Yeah.
Secondly, is he a good person? I can't tell. I
No.
think he is, but I'm not 100% sure. And I just wanted to say, I looked up his music, and have you listened to any of it yet?
No. I
Okay,
did not
I
know.
think so. He has an Instagram where he posts his music, and all of the posts say hashtag Ableton.
Oh my god, wait. Should we like should we patch this in? Like
Yeah, I think
or
so. So he makes, and I showed it to Matt last night because I never know. Like, I'm always curious about the subgenres of kind of electronic music, techno, whatnot. And I was like, what is this music? Like, he goes by Bryce Alakai, Alakai
I'm putting
for his
Bryce Love
music.
Island Ableton. Is this
And so he makes and he tags it house music. And I was like, is this house music? The answer
okay?
is it's not house music, but it is sort of electro. It's sort of like chill wave EDM. Like it's kind of, and like there was a particular DJ that Matt showed me that I think sounds exactly like Bryce, but is obviously more successful. And I'm
Okay.
trying to remember her name. She's like a
Okay.
Swiss DJ,
Okay.
Nora and
Where
Pure.
First of all, this is so weird. I find it so weird. Okay. There's like a
So,
number of
okay,
things. Okay. First of all, this
Well,
is
all I want to
the
say,
uh-huh.
oh no, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. This is a music page, and this man is not doing any music. So that's
His
weird.
music is all in the audio clips
Yeah, but I still think
of
it's
pictures of
weird
himself.
if he's supposed to be producing his music, he's
Mhm.
not like in the studio. He's not anyway.
He's
So
on his laptop
that's
on like a cliff on the beach. There's also one, I sent you a screenshot, I think, where he's like with like a synthesizer on like a cliff in Malibu, just
yeah,
like being
this, but
emo.
like that's ridiculous. Why would you have your synthesizer on a cliff? It's not plugged into anything. There's no speaker. He doesn't have a control. He has a controller. It's not producing music. Like it's just, this is, okay. There are a lot of things here where I'm just, oh, by the way, yeah, because like, oh my
That
God.
was it. That was the
Wow.
one I sent you. Yep, yep, yep.
It's
Look at
not
him.
plugged in, guys. It's not plugged in. What's it plugged into? This is rule
I don't see
number
a
one.
narrator.
As somebody who is a producer and musician and artist, there's a rule number one for doing an Instagram post: plug your shit in, or else it's just fake. Yes, people know you probably aren't like producing the track live. However, you have to make it look like you are. And that just means you have to bring the cables. Like it is like rookie mistake to do a shoot of a song that you're trying to say that you made without bringing your cable. So I would say right off the bat, no. Like you're not a
Alert.
serious guy, man. You're not even your microphones. You're using Bluetooth headphones to produce music. Like that doesn't work. You can't do that.
Mm-mm,
Do you know how much latency there
mm-mm,
is in Bluetooth? Like that's
mm-mm.
not good. So I would say whatever. Now, let's I
So
can't.
the sound, and this is what I
Okay.
wanted to just
Okay.
add quickly.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we found the closest analog to like a more successful DJ that I think he's trying to emulate,
Okay.
which is this woman who's from Switzerland named Nora and Pure, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Enpure. Okay. And again, I'm quoting my partner here, but I thought this was very funny. He
All right.
said, it's like the music that people think Bali sounds like if Bali only had white people on it. Like it's like beach, rave, daytime, kind of like it's like EDM, but you could relax to it. Like you could do yoga to EDM. Like that's
We can hear it a little
that.
bit now. Okay. I'm going to tell you how many red flags I have about this.
Tell me
Do,
all.
do,
Tell me
do,
all the red flags.
first of all, do I think he's producing his own music? No, I really don't. Do you know how easy it is to not actually be producing music and make it seem like you are, by not just because I have nothing against using samples and stuff like that. There's no footage here, there's no tracks of him actually making music. It
But
every
hashtag
DJ.
Ableton, Clara.
Yes, then where is Ableton? I was excited to see his Ableton setup. I was excited to see him producing some stuff. Like this is not real. And I hate that. Like, I hate that, the only time that I've ever seen Ableton represented on mainstream television was in Able, aka The Weeknd's stupid HBO The Idol. It's the only time I ever saw on
Mm-hmm.
screen. I'm like, holy shit, it's Ableton. Like, this is so exciting. They showed Ableton. Ableton, by the way, is like the music software that I guess like electronic artists gravitate towards Ableton over a lot of other softwares. Like you might have heard of some other things, who knows, like Pro Tools, which would be the singer-songwriter big studio major label version, but like electronic independent artists tend to use Ableton or like FL Studio sometimes. but like if he's tagging Ableton and not showing Ableton, I can imagine Ableton just sitting there being like, I roll, I roll, I roll, I roll. This man is not using Ableton. And it's just one of those things where it's like the male equivalent of women, of like singer songwriters who are like, I make all my own music. Like, I write all my own music. And it's like, okay, you can write a song, but you never see them in the studio making the music. So it's different. And anyway, that's like my pet peeve, but it's like for him to be like, yes, I am a DJ and a producer and not have any footage or images of you doing that. I'm also like, what are you trying to portray to your followers and stuff like that? Because I think it's an opportunity to show people, this is how you become like me. This is how you do the process. Like, and to be, I don't know, like,
No, because
what?
the
So in
process is
order,
totally obscured, and all we see is his like hair and his like kind of
yeah.
sad boy face, like his little model face,
Like,
or
he's
the
a
back of his
model.
head.
So, buddy,
Right.
just be what you are. Like, why are you trying to take my job? Like, I don't understand. Like, you're a model. I don't understand this man. Like, and I don't understand. You see in reality TV, there's a lot of DJs, but you don't go so far as to like say that you're making the music, unless, like James Kennedy. I don't know if you know, like Vanderpump Rules.
Mm-mm.
There's a lot of footage of James Kennedy working on Ableton throughout the show. Does James Kennedy
Whoa.
like actually produce in Ableton? Yes. Is James Kennedy a model and like going to, no, like why do we need to do it all? Like, I really wonder why you need to be a model slash DJ slash producer slash reality show. Like, can we just be a thing? Like, I don't
Yeah.
get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I don't care for
But I
it.
will say, like,
And,
there's something about his music, just to play devil's advocate, that is
mm-hmm,
like, I think strangely alt compared to the kind of music that the typical Love Island contestant DJ plays or does or makes. So like if you look up Gabriel's
mm-hmm,
account and the kind of music he DJs, it's very much like what you would expect.
right.
Whereas I think Bryce's is like
I see.
slightly, it's much more LA, I suppose, in that sense, that it's like it's something that I actually don't hate.
But
And
here's
like,
the thing.
yes, it's
Yeah.
derivative. It's
Uh-huh.
not original. He didn't make it himself. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just
Uh-huh.
saying, as a pure observer, the music doesn't suck, which really surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if you have people who are, who are, if you can afford to pay people, you can get people who know about music to provide sound for you and to like position you. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing that I don't, okay, here's an example. The other day I was in the car with my friend. She was like, "Can I play you a song? I found it." It was like that song Sunflower from the Spider-Verse movie, and it was a
I don't think I've heard
remix.
it.
Okay, it's, I mean, it's like, you're a sunflower. It's like Post Malone and uh oh my god, I forget the other artist's name. Um and it's like, you would probably know the song. It was one of those things that was everywhere for a little bit. And so people remix them, like a big pop song. It's like it'll get a lot of remix. Oh, Sway Lee, of course. So, um, so I was listening to the song in the car, and it was so cool because somebody had taken this beat, this like hip hop, Post Malone Sway Lee song, and they had
Mm-hmm.
mashed it up with a string quartet, and it sounded really cool. And then the beat came in, and I was like, this beat is not good. Like, this beat really sucks and it sounds like crap. And like, I have quite a good stereo in the car. So I was like, wow, this is clearly not made by a real artist. Like, sorry, a real artist. This isn't made by a commercial artist. Okay. This is made by somebody in their bedroom. And I would take that a million times over what I just heard on Bryce's page, because I'm like, it was real. It was somebody's idea at 3 a.m. in their bedroom that they were like, damn, this sounds cool, and put it on YouTube. And somehow it, like, people heard it and it got, it's not like super famous, but enough that my friend played it for me because it was cool. And so, like, my vision, it's original, exactly. And it's like, and so in my world, it's like, that's it, man. Why do you have to sound so perfect? Like, his stuff, yes, it's perfect. Do I believe he made it? No. Because you don't have time to be modeling for Calvin Klein, doing all these freaking photo shoots, doing all of that, plus learning how to produce music. Are you kidding me? And plus now, like, it's AI, right? So, like...
And he never talks about producing on the show either. He just talks about being a DJ. The Ableton thing is solely from his Instagram. So I really wonder if it's like...
No, because I just found a thing where it says like, oh, this is my new release. But it's like, at this point, anyone can literally go into suno.ai, make a song, like, release it, and it'll sound good. Like, Suno, anything that doesn't have vocals in it, you can use AI and it'll make you a slamming good track that you can
and it's
release.
Very glossy. It's like, but it's kind of like the audio equivalent of like an unedited Midjourney image. It's like,
not anymore. Not anymore. It's good now. Like, it's fucking good. Like, it's so good that you can't tell the difference anymore if it doesn't have a human voice on it. The strides that it's made in the past, because audio is easier than video. And so any genre that doesn't have a human voice is incredibly easy. Like, think about feeding in every single electronic song that's ever been written in the history of, like, us, and then just being like, hey, just like chop it up and put it together. It does such a good job. And that's probably what he's doing, honestly. Like, sorry, but like, it sounds good. Is it original? No. Does it sound homemade? No. Does it have a soul? No. So it's like, what's the point, man? Like, why don't you just fix your garbage trucks and like take some credit for like learning a skill that actually like takes time to cultivate, and leave the music for people who apply that same learning to, like, I've been learning music my entire life. I started playing when I was 4. Like, why are you coming for that? You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of people who spend, I'm sorry, it's like, it's just too much.
No,
like,
I wanted to hear this rant live. This is why, I saved this for the pod.
Oh my God.
I was like, I need to hear Clara's take on this, guys.
It's too much. I would so much rather hear you and Matt sit there and just make something that you're like, oh, wow, this is like, I love this. This is so cool. Yeah. And like, yeah, it might not be like perfect, compressed, mastered, ready for Ibiza, but like, it'll have soul, And so I think that's ready what Bryce is missing.
Exactly. Which my favorite thing, was this 2 summer Love Island UKs ago, my favorite line, which I kept playing over and over and over again on my phone, which was them going, I love Ibiza. And it was like, I would spell it like iPod, but beaver was what it sounded like they were saying, like a sort of electronic beaver. I love Ibiza. Who don't love Ibiza?
That's so good.
I don't know if Bryce has ever been to Ibiza, but if he went, he would love it. And he should just move there.
I'm sure he could get booked.
Then he would be a small fish, big pond, because...
Yeah. He'll also have to plug in his gear. So
he'll have to plug in his gear. I hate to break it to him. He might need an adapter.
Yeah, like...
with his US electronics.
God, like,
okay,
yeah, okay.
I think we should... move on to
but
episode...
I totally agree. Like, just in, like, to put a bow on it, it's like, the problem with Bryce is the problem with his music. It's just, it's missing a soul. That's And
Mm-hmm.
now I have, identified it. Thank you very much for sharing. It's like, no, no.
So
Yeah.
is Bryce good? Question mark.
No.
Answer, no. No.
I would say
Bryce is not
no.
good.
No. No. It's like there's
I don't think
something
he's
missing.
evil, but there's
No.
something missing. And I can't unhear, like, I can't, ever since, was it Kenzie who said the turtle tongue thing
Yeah.
in episode one? Every time I see him kissing a girl, I'm like,
I
turtle
know.
tongue. Like, he can't possibly be a good kisser because he doesn't have the soul.
I know. He doesn't. He's just like AI. I
A
just,
little bit. Like, he's very
yeah.
pretty. He's nice to look
Yeah.
at, but that's kind of it.
Be a model, my friend.
He
Be a
seems like
model.
fine. Like, I would hang
Yeah.
out with him and I wouldn't hate him. Like, he's not
No. He's
obnoxious, but
not
he's just like,
offensive.
yeah, he's innocuous
Yeah.
thus far, more or less. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
this brings us to episode 4, which was a return of the turtle tongue for sure, and the return of lots and lots of smooching
Yeah.
in the boss bitch challenge.
This was a good challenge. I really
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the boss bitch challenge.
Do you want to put the meditation back up? Because I don't
Oh,
want to look
yes,
at Bryce
please.
anymore.
Thank you for reminding me. I need the meditation now. Oh my gosh.
So I
Please.
will say quickly before we get into the boss bitch challenge, we have the first occurrence of Sean, who is sleeping alone, and Kenzie, who's sleeping alone because they've both been decoupled. They've both been made single in the villa. And Sean, in the dark, under the night cam, rises from his bed, goes to Kenzie's bed, and makes out with her or kisses
Yeah.
her in the dark. And I wrote down, ew, if Sean tried kissing me in the middle of the night, like I
Yeah.
would scream.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't
That's a
want
weird thing
anyone
to
coming up
do.
to me. However, it seems that Kenzie enjoyed it. So, and it becomes a regular thing that they do.
Yeah. I know. I would definitely, I guess, like, it is one of those things, like, it depends if I like them or not. Like, if
Right.
I have a crush on them and, like, that could be romantic, or it
Sure.
could also be, like, really, like, immoral and horrible,
Creepy.
creepy. Like,
Yeah. So Kenzie doesn't seem to
yeah,
think it's creepy. He starts making her breakfast, which is
yeah,
cute. He seems just like a sweet guy in general. He's definitely like feeling left out. Kind of, he doesn't do great with being single. I think he really wants to be
yeah,
wanted by someone, and he's doing the most to try and get a girl. Um,
yeah.
and
Yeah. No, I know.
that's
It's
all. I
true.
think like you could call it desperate, but it is also literally the point of the show. So I don't know if
Hmm.
I would venture that far to call him desperate just for wanting to be in a couple when that's like
Hmm.
what you need. You're trying to find a connection, and if you're not in a connection, then you're kicked off.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I identified for myself, I placed him because I realized, lately I've been working on the Stoicism project. It's like Stoic season.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, rethinking of Stoicism. And so I've been going through a lot of like bro Stoicism accounts, and he is bro Stoicism. Like that's him. Like
Mm,
I will guarantee you anything that just like you have a folder on your desktop of cute quotes, he has one for all of his stoicism quotes because every freaking time he opens his mouth, he is quoting a stoic, but also not like saying that he is. But every single time, every pep talk, I'm like,
oh
that's
my God.
Epictetus. Oh, yep. Oh, Marcus Aurelius again. Like
Wait,
every
can
single
you give us an
time
example?
when he was sitting, who was he talking? Like every time he's like sitting with one of the boys, and either, like, for example, when he was talking about how Bea when with Gabriel, and they're like, "Oh, how do you feel about that, man?" Like I forget who he was chatting with, but one of the
Mhm.
boys, and he's like, "You know, I accept it though. Like, you know, I just have to be solid in myself and like process like I forget exactly how he worded, but I swear to God, he is quoting stoicism every single time. He's like, I'm upset about it, but I also can like step back and just be logical and say like, what is that saying to me about? And I was like, oh, that's who he is. Like he is exactly stoicism, bro, which I don't hate at all. Like I think it's great because he's doing some work. And so clearly at some level, he is like a philosophical man who's like
Yeah.
doing some work. It's
He's
just
got a lot of
his
downtime in the cop car, you
he's
know? He's got a
like
lot of time to think about stuff.
yeah, he's scrolling and he's doing some work because he seems to believe it. Like he's pretty regulated, and like even when the thing, I really liked how he dealt with Bea going with Gabriel. Like I like that he was like, I accept it. Like he's just all about like acceptance and like I get it, and like I was upset, but like, and he's very good at communicating his feelings and not being a dick and not being mad. He's very mature. Like there's a lot of good things. It's just he's very
Yeah.
like stoic. And so
Yeah.
yeah,
And I
that
think that goes hand in hand with he's one of those guys who just for some reason, maybe because his neck is so muscular, he just always looks like he's looking up. Like when he's talking, he's like it's kind of
true.
this like military vibe.
It's so true.
Um like he's
Yeah.
just fixing his gaze on some point up here and he's like, yeah, still blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Well,
Um
it's true. He's gazing at that statue in front of him and he's just like, "Yes, I'm, you know, it's I think that really like once I connected that, I was like, totally got it. But like, is it for me? No. Is it like he's out of place on the show? Except when the way that you describe him gives like golden retriever, like you know when so I was like kind of like that's kind of he's like a loyal puppy, but he
wait, who
needs
was the one
a
who said they're looking for
Trinity,
a
I
golden
think.
retriever? Was it
Trinity.
Trinity?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's kind of well, no spoiler alerts. We'll
Yeah.
come back to that. So
Anyways.
they're kind of talking Trinity and Sean, but nothing super serious. So we then wake up, get a text, and we have this challenge called Boss Bitch, where the girls they it's kind of one of the most fun challenges I've seen in a long time, where they are sitting around like kind of a boardroom and they're all wearing like Love Island's idea of business casual, which are, of course, couple matching outfits, these kind of like blazers with bikinis and these horrific, like black faces for all the
Yes.
girls, or maybe the boys had them too. I can't remember.
I can't remember, but I
And
definitely remember the girls.
there's lots of making out involved. Like, I think when each girl goes, she has to like make out with like three different guys,
Mm-hmm.
two of which are seen by everyone, and one of which is in this back room where there's cash flying around. And then this very tall man appears out of the woodwork who is our new bombshell, Corbin,
Corbin.
who's 6'4" or whatever. And so, of course, everyone goes bananas about him because they like a tall man. Thing I will never
I
understand,
don't
but to
get it
each their
either.
own.
I know.
And he kind of looks like a baby. Like
Yeah.
he similar to Kata, kind of her personality being hot. I think Corbin's personality is being tall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's not a great, we learn later, conversationalist. But at this point, he doesn't have to talk. He's literally just hiding in this room and then makes out with each girl as she comes in and then goes, shh.
Don't tell the boys.
Yeah, so they're not supposed to know he's there, and so they keep it a secret. Um,
And he
and
stuffs a bunch of cash in their
oh,
bikini top. And I think
and
that they need
it's
to get the most cash.
yeah, it's so funny because we don't know whether the cash is real or what its significance is, but later Yeah, makes a hilarious comment about how she was trying to stuff cash in her leg, like to
Yes.
take it out of the room. And I'm like, wait, that was real cash? Like, what is going on?
I have no idea.
Like, it's like
Yeah,
traders energy.
I
So
know.
unexplained, but we get a little drama in this challenge, specifically between Melanie and Kata, in that Melanie's low-key pissed about Kata pulling Sincere for a chat and
Mm-hmm.
Sincere and her not really talking about it. Um, and so there's a part where you can kind of like slime someone, and Melanie slimes Kata.
Yeah.
And so she falls into this pit of pink goo, which was kind of disgusting, but also low key gave
Cute.
me ASMR vibes because you
Uh-huh.
know I love pink goo.
Yeah. No, I didn't mind it.
And so she's covered in pink goo. Then she makes out with somebody, I don't know. And then Kata makes a comment about um, Sincere, and like the question was like, which couple needs an upgrade or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And Kata says Melanie and Sincere.
Mm-hmm.
And then I forget exactly the order of things, but basically they each slime each other. Like it's and then Kata says, I'm a tit for tat girly.
Yeah.
Like you slime me, I slime you. And but she doesn't slime Melanie, she slimes Sincere because she has the decency to not slime another girl, but she still calls them out as their couple being unstable.
Right.
And then she and Sincere, whose hair is luscious.
I was gonna say
Luscious.
that's why he has the undercut because it would be too big.
It would
I
be
get it now. It
massive.
would be too
I get
much.
it now too, but I will say his hairline needs a little work. It looks
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
But other than that, luscious. So he has it down, and then when he has to go in the slime pit, they give him one of those bonnets,
Yeah.
like a shower
Mm-hmm.
cap, because they're like, you can't mess up that beautiful
No.
mane, my friend.
No.
But so Melanie is pissed because clearly Sincere and Kata have chemistry. But Kata's still like into Zach for reasons we will never. I think that's the gist of the challenge. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
I mean, that was like the drama, I guess. There otherwise there's just a lot of making out. All the girls were they were pretty excited. Like Melanie was really excited about Corbin. So there was that. And
Right.
yeah, and otherwise like they were happy to see him and we needed a new bombshell. And
Mm-hmm.
first impressions of Corbin, I totally agree about just he's tall
Mm-hmm.
and like just looks a little bit immature, and also that's a very weird way to introduce a bombshell.
Yeah.
It was weird. And then they went back to the villa and all the boys were so incredibly threatened by
Mm-hmm.
Corbin.
By his
um
height,
by his
because he
height, the
has a little baby
tallness.
face
Yeah.
and he has like one of those weird tufts. They all have
Hmm.
really weird facial hair this
Yeah, true.
season. And I guess they're just
Yeah.
all pretty young. And I
Yeah.
guess maybe they can't grow a full beard until they're in their 30s or whatever. But none of, like, very few
Yeah.
of them have chosen to go
Baby
clean
face. I
cut. And
know.
so we have a lot of like, just like strange tufts, strange little chin straps.
Yeah.
It's very
It's true.
goofy.
Yeah.
So they go back to the villa, and Corbin is speaking to all five of the girls
Uh-huh.
together on the couch. And Melanie cannot contain her excitement
Yeah.
because
She's
Corbin is
yeah.
100% her type on paper.
And she's sitting right next to
And
him. And she's trying to make a lot of eye contact.
like she's like unbroken eye contact. She's like blocking Kenzie with her body like
Yeah.
behind her.
I feel like
She
she's
is
blocking everyone on her side. Like no one
she
can
is.
engage with him and she is hogging. And by the
She's
way, Sincere is sitting there watching all of
Uh-huh.
this.
Uh-huh.
And, he's like,
Uh-huh.
oh, wow, that guy's really her type. Like, and she is doing the most.
The most. So then, as soon as she feels a lull in the conversation or a producer tells them they're done or whatever, which we don't hear, Melanie goes, "Can we have a chat?" to Corbin, pulls him upstairs, and they have a sort of, I guess, flirty chat upstairs on one of the lounge chairs. And when she comes back, Bea calls her out on her moves. She was like, "Hey, that was weird. That was kind of rude. I thought that Kenzie should get to talk to him first because she's
Mm-hmm.
single. But you were low key blocking her with your body and like not giving anyone else a chance." And Melanie loses it.
Yeah. And right away, I thought,
Um,
remember what you said last time about Girls Girl? And it's like,
mhm,
you're just like, essentially, she's just calling her out. Like, you're not
mhm,
being a girl's girl. I don't care whether you like to use the word or not. Like, that's not cool. Like, you're on a show, much less like how you would act just in your normal life. Like, you're on Love Island, a bombshell just came in. There's like five girls sitting around him. You have to, or six, I don't know, I haven't counted recently, but like, you have to, just be aware. Just be aware of your
right,
surroundings, you know?
right.
And
No, no
I thought
awareness.
Bea, like what Bea said to her, I was like, 100%. And Bea is very blunt. And I totally get that. It's like, she's just like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. Now, the only problem that I had with what Bea said and the way that
Mm,
she stepped in was that she was doing it ostensibly on behalf of Kenzie and also Trinity because they were both being blocked. So she's like, Kenzie didn't get to. So she was like, she wasn't saying that it was her. She was like
mm,
doing it kind of like meddling, let's say, in other people's business, which is the one thing that I would take issue for. I
kind of
think
like
that,
speaking for
yeah.
others.
Like, so for me, I'm like, I don't think it was necessarily her place to say that. So, she could have definitely addressed it in a way that would be, I think, just like more productive, let's say, because
I agree. I
but like,
agree. I think maybe saying it right away too was a
mhm,
little triggering for Melanie. I think if she had maybe waited a few hours or waited until the next day,
yeah,
maybe she wouldn't have been as heated. But it was like she was on a high from meeting this very tall
hmm
man, and where Kenzie in the next episode said, "Corbin is like a huge ass tree, and I'm like a little squirrel in a nest."
what the? I'm glad you clocked that too because I was actually like, what is she talking about? Like, do squirrels have nests in trees? Like, what is
I
happening
think
right
they
now?
do. To fact check that, squirrels do have nests in
Do
trees.
they? Because I know they hide things, but like, do they have nests in tree or anyway? But like, even
They
so,
do, but
but what does that mean? That
but
she's
there's nothing sexual between the squirrel in its nest and the tree that it lives in.
no, like I don't know what she was talking about. Like
But I
what?
think from watching the most recent season of Euphoria, I've learned a lot about giant and giantess fetishes.
Okay,
And I think this is a thing a lot of people are into is like
okay,
scale. And so there's a
yeah,
lot of OnlyFans people that will film these kind of like Godzilla-esque scenes or like, just they're into either like really large or I guess really small
yeah,
people. And
okay.
I wonder if this is like the tall guy thing is like a version of that or connected to that somehow.
I get it. I mean, I also just did some investigative reporting and squirrels do indeed build nests, but they're called drays
Oh,
and
wait, how do you
they
spell that?
Drey and it's a
Never heard
squirrel
of that.
dray and it's a different kind of nest. So
Oh,
they and tree squirrels do them. And they have leaf nests called drays high up in branches and cavity dens. See, that's what I thought, because I guess like I've always seen squirrels in dens in like the holes in the
I
trees
think it's
hiding the
regional.
acorns,
Like, I
but
think in the South, they live in trees because when I lived
uh-huh.
in Tennessee as a kid, there were really tall trees with
Yeah.
big old squirrel nests up in the top of the tree. And
Yeah,
so if she's from
exactly.
Georgia, that's probably what she's familiar with too.
Listen, you learn a new thing every day. I didn't know there was a word called dray, and now I do.
Dre.
Dray. And
Uh,
but I still like you provide context. I just when she said that I was just like I don't understand.
so silly. So
Um
silly.
but
So
so what did you think? So then Melanie freaked out. Like she
Melanie
just
freaked out.
lost her shit
Hmm.
on Bea, and she made so much drama. It was like Huda vibes. It was like, let's just like
Hmm.
create this insane hurricane that like everyone needs to be brought into. So she was like stomping around all over the place, just being like, give me 10, give me 10, come here, but give me 10. It's like, oh my God, like she's a lot. And it like occurs to me that she isn't. I talk about something called emotional hygiene, where I'm like, okay, so some people talk about emotional sobriety. Like, that's not really my thing, because I think sobriety is just a weird goal, like, in the sense that when people say, oh, I'm working on my emotional sobriety, I'm like, are you trying not to like feel things like that? It gives stoic, it
Hmm.
gives like, okay, I'm
Hmm.
just going to shut off emotions. But there's like this alternative that I think about called like emotional hygiene, where to
Hmm.
me that's just like you can have all the emotions that you want and feel your feelings and be a crybaby. Like I'm the biggest crybaby in the whole world, but it's like I recognize like I feel things so much. I'm so sensitive. I'm like a barometer that changes every moment, but I can't make that other people's problem. Like, so
Hmm.
I've had to learn how to have emotional hygiene. It's just like, I'm also a messy person. I have a lot of crap and I leave it all over the place. You have to learn to just
Same.
like tidy, like, because you don't want your roommate to have to deal with all your shit everywhere. It's just a matter
Hmm.
of like living with other humans. And so for her, I'm like, wow, it's my problem is not how sensitive she is, not how emotional she is. Like, I think that's all great, but it's that part where it's like this, I'm going to make my feelings everybody's problem. And that's not okay. You have the right to
Yeah,
feel your feelings, but you don't have
right.
the right to put them on everyone,
Exactly.
including your partner. And,
Hmm.
and then give him this really weird thing where she's like, I need you to just come and be my friend right now. Like
Right.
it was weird. And
Friend
then,
mode. She needs him
yeah.
in friend mode. And this brings us actually into episode 5 because
Okay.
her crash out was a sort of cliffhanger
Hmm.
from episode 4 into 5. And actually, one thing I wanted to add is before episode 4 ends, she's like just stomping around the villa, like you said, trying to find someone to talk to
Hmm.
like vent to. And she goes up to Kata and Zach and is like, "Can I talk to you guys?" And Kata's kind of like, "Huh?" Um, and I was
No.
like, "This is an example. Like, she just needs external regulation in that moment. Like, she needs
Yeah.
somebody to tell her." Like she needs to vent to somebody and then she needs that person to validate her. Like that's what
Yes.
she's looking
And to
for. And
say,
so,
yeah, like it like it's almost like to say like you didn't do anything wrong,
yes. Yes,
like,
exactly. Exactly. And so then what you mentioned in the beginning of episode 5, she pulls Sincere for a chat and is still very upset and asks him to talk to her as a friend. And bless Sincere, he goes along with it in the moment. He listens to her, he validates her, he gives her a hug, even though the stuff she's saying is very hurtful to him.
hmm
And he later admits it to her. Like he doesn't like being asked to be her friend, he says, I thought this was so cute. He was like, we're in a couple, so we've got a built-in
I
friendship.
know. It's so
Like,
true.
like we are friends by default. And she was like, well, I don't want, like, when I'm in a couple with someone, they sometimes baby me, and I wanted you to be real with me.
That's
But I don't know if
weird.
that's what
I
she
don't
really
think.
wanted. I think she wanted somebody to just be like a yes man and go along with everything she was saying, which is what he did for her.
Yeah.
Um, in that moment. Uh, but so yeah, later he tells her that that wasn't cool,
Mm-hmm.
which I appreciated, and also the fact that she's going to him, telling him about how attractive she
Another
thinks
guy?
Corbin
I
is,
know.
and like how Bea got mad at her because of how she talked to Corbin, and like not even acknowledging how all of that would make Sincere feel.
I know. I didn't
It's just
I mean I didn't I really did not like anything about it. Like I didn't like the way that she responded, and she would the fact that she could not take accountability, like even though she was using words of like, and then she said when she recapped the conversation, like when Bea first said it to her, she took no accountability. It was like, yeah, but and I hate that. It's like just
Mhm,
say, yeah, okay, I hear you. Got it. Like you don't have to agree. You just have to say, I hear you. That's all you have to say.
mhm,
But then she
mhm,
wouldn't do that. She was like
mhm,
so reactive. And then when she explained what had happened to Sincere, it was like she explained the way that she described the situation was as if she had taken accountability, which she absolutely didn't. And so that kind of stuff is like what drives me crazy. So it's like either
mhm.
take accountability or don't. But like she just had this very strange, you could see the way that she actually like acted, and then also how she thinks she acted, and there was a big
Mhm.
discrepancy between those two things. And then the
Yes.
fact that she upset Sincere by saying something so crazy, like I cannot imagine saying to my partner, just like be my friend now. Like what does that mean? And that's for him, like I don't understand what you mean by that. So of course it makes it seem like, oh well, I'm going to talk to you about a boy I like because she's like head over heels for Corbin. But then I'm like, and Sincere is just so nice. Like I was wavering on him a little bit at a certain point because I was like, I don't know, maybe whatever. But like, I really liked
Yeah.
how he dealt with that situation. He's like, I just want to talk to you. I want to have open communication. I want to talk about our feelings. Like, he's very regulated. The only weird thing that he said that I clocked was when he was like, it's like when you're the fastest guy in school. He was talking about his like competitiveness with Corbin. And he was like,
Yeah.
it's like when you're the fastest guy at school, which he was, 'cause he was like an athlete. And then this new guy comes and he's faster. And then, it's like, well, because he was like, oh, when you're the fast guy at school, all the girls like you. And then this new guy comes in. And then, you have work to do. I was like, yeah, like to be faster than the new guy? Like, that's so weird. It's like, how about some different kinds of work? Like, I just can't imagine going through life in that kind of competitive mindset where like, oh,
Mhm.
interesting. Like, is that how you move? Like, and is that
Yeah.
how you base your esteem in a way where it's like, it's not necessarily for the track and field itself or like the thing itself, but it's the way that people react to you. And so if your self-worth is based not on the deed but on the reactions, then I'm like,
Mm.
oh, that really leaves you vulnerable in this way where it's
Yeah.
like,
That's so interesting. And it also contrasts with our other track athlete this season, Beatriz,
mhm.
who says at one point, the only thing I compete for are medals.
I know, I
Like,
love
I'm
that.
not competing for guys on this show. And she is kind of, I think, she says it very clearly in this heart to heart that she has with Melanie later the next day, where she's like, look, it's so easy in here to fall into comparison mode and to compare yourself to other girls.
Mhm.
And you can tell that she's fighting with that too. especially as somebody that is like a professional competitor.
Mm-hmm.
But to kind of have the self-awareness of like, I need to separate that mentality from what's actually going on in here, which is that we are all individuals forming our own connections with other individuals, and there's no use in comparing myself to someone else because I am who I am.
Yeah.
And
I
I will
love
connect
that.
with people the way I connect with them. And that's like such a healthy,
Yeah.
I think, way to approach confidence that you can tell like the gears are turning and she's actively learning how to do it, you
Yes.
know?
And also when she
Um,
was saying that she's a tomboy, that she relates to guys in this way, but like she doesn't feel feminine. And,
mhm,
you know, even though like I guess from like our perspective, I see her as feminine, but I also see what she's saying and like I relate to her because I've also been in like, you know, into electronic music and you know these like very male dominated spaces and like I for so long thought of myself as a boy and
mm,
which is weird for people because they'll say to me like, oh, you're so hyper feminine because like I do my hair and I like my outfits and I like makeup and da da da, but like in my head I'm one of the guys. Like I am so
mm,
not feminine. So when I see a woman like Kata or something like that, I'm like, oh, and it's not last time we talked about Ultimate Girl and like the kind of thing. It's like I don't want to be that. Like I don't have a there, and I don't think that the guys that I go for necessarily would want that either or something. So
yeah,
I'm kind of okay, but I do think it's a really interesting conversation to have like on this platform about femininity in Love Island and what that means. And I think like the pressure on us in society as women to look a certain way for the male gaze. And I think that's the thing where it really
mm,
centers like what you're doing for yourself and like how to feel feminine and then what you're doing to play into a stereotype that the guys will respond to. And
yeah,
you know, I just love the fact that we're having these conversations
mm.
on the show
I
cuz, you
agree.
know,
And I think this whole episode tackled femininity in so many different interesting ways over the course of the episode because we've got the heart to heart between um oh my God, why am I blanking on their names? Melanie and Beatriz. Where they're talking about, you know, Melanie's like, I've been insecure because I can't do these activities with the boys. I
mhm,
can't play sports with them. I'm just pretty. And she's comparing herself to Bea, who's pretty and athletic, right?
mhm,
Um, but then, you know, we have the conversation between Casey and Anaya, and then the
yeah,
conversation between Bryce and Trinity. And I don't want to go into great depth about it because I feel like as a white woman, I shouldn't be the one speaking about, race and specifically Black
mhm,
beauty standards on the show. But I did think it was interesting that kind of both of them approached Black beauty standards in their conversations and that
yeah,
we got to hear about that. But then and part of me was really happy to hear about kind of these two very different dark skinned women being validated in their
mhm,
beauty. But then as I was thinking about it later, I was like, it was all through the male gaze.
right,
I mean, the only thing we really got was like Trinity saying, I used to not be confident because I didn't fit this mold of my community's beauty standards. And, now I feel better about myself.
yeah, that's true.
But it
I
still
think,
ended on
yeah,
Bryce being like, essentially saying, I don't like curvy girls.
uh-huh,
And that also left a weird taste in my mouth because I think
yeah,
he could have said, I really like you the way you are. I think you're
yeah,
sexy. It
yeah,
didn't have
that's
to be like a
true.
general statement of like,
Yeah,
yeah, I like skinny butts.
totally. I think she's so pretty. Like she's grown
Trinity.
on me, Trinity. Like I
Oh yeah,
don't
I love
she's
her
I
inside
really
and out.
like me too. I like her personality. She's soft spoken. Like the last time I was like, I don't know, like because you know, she doesn't say a whole lot, but when she does, I really appreciate her perspective. I like the way she says things. I love her voice. I love her
Yeah.
look. I love her style. Like I really love her, and it just shows that like you don't have to do the most and say the most to have a presence, where
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh my God,
100%.
like I would want to hang out with her." Um
Totally.
and
Totally.
I also wanted to say with the Casey and Anaya conversation, when she put the flower in her hair, and like I noticed when she put the flower in her hair, I was like, that's so cute. Like, and it's so, we were talking last time about how she's kind of like romantic. She's kind of old fashioned. She kind of has this like
Yeah.
thing, and like the flower in her hair, like it's not trendy, it's not whatever, but it's like so, it's like, I don't know. It's cute. It's like Disney
Her.
princess. It's like the thing. And then Casey was like, I love that flower in your hair. It really brings out your eyes. I was going to cry. I was like, he is so genuine to me. I love his little
So
things.
sweet to her.
When he makes breakfast and he comes in, he goes, I got your eggs and I got this and I got love and I got me. And I'm like, yes, like, and he does like this little,
Oh my God.
and it's very, he's really like, it's just interesting to me. Like, he's grown on me so much. I also think that like the other girls do a good, job of not getting in the drama and being like, I can see both sides. Like, the only person who really can't is Melanie, honestly. And like, I think that Bea also, she's a very strong personality, and I'm sure that like she definitely thinks that she's right. And I relate to that. Like, I get that, but she will have to also listen to what the feedback is and to be like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, like you have a good point, but also like you can't just say it that way. Like you have to, timing is important, and like you do have to like think about the other person and their state before you say, even if, yeah, it's great. You're an honest, blunt person and your point like is valid, but it's how you do it. And then on the other hand, when she had that conversation with Melanie's like, they were talking about crying and emotions. And Bea's like, well, I admire how you, feel your feelings and you have the emotions. Cause I was always told not to cry, not to show fear, and like not to show emotion by my
Mhm.
parents because people will use it against you. And I think I've been thinking a lot lately about how much I cry, and I cry so much. And like Sailor Moon is like my, idol forever. And so
Yes.
it's like I do identify as crybaby, but that was, and Victor Hugo has this thing where he's like, because I was obsessed with Les Miserables, with this whole thing. But anyway, I did read it too. Like he had this line that said, "Dry eyes are the sign of a dead soul," and I was like,
Mhm.
11 or something when I read this, so it's stuck with me my whole life. Where I'm like, I think
Wow.
that being in touch with your feelings in a way that Beo's like, it's good to be able to cry and to know what you're feeling. Yes. But then when I was listening to that, just back to the other thing, it's like, yeah, it's so important to be able to feel your feelings, express your feelings, whatever. But also, like, you have to be able to, learn to manage that. And so it's not enough, like, for Melanie to just be like, well, I'm emotional or I'm sensitive. Like, that's not an excuse for making other people upset. And so like I feel like they both have something to learn, and I'm glad that they were able to have this like productive conversation. Although I
Mhm.
have serious doubts as to whether Melanie is like placating or whether she's actually like
Mm.
listening. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. I think that remains to be seen whether she's gonna do some growing on this show or
Hmm.
if she's gonna stay stubbornly in her ways.
Hmm.
Um,
But yeah, I
growth
think,
is hard, but
yeah.
sometimes this show really accelerates growth in people. I mean, look at Leah from 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
She, became a crowd favorite because she became accountable for her mistakes and her missteps and really like, yeah, matured a lot, I guess, on screen, or at least people perceived it that way.
No, I think she did. And I think that that's why I do believe it. Just like to, final thoughts. It's like, I do think that being in relationships are kind of the only way. I would actually say the only way that we grow. I know that there's this thing, like, I've done it and a lot of my friends have done it, where it's like you think, oh, I'm going to be single, and like I'm going to be single and I'm going to like work on myself and I'm going to like do, and okay, don't get me wrong. It's like important to be able to be on your own and to, not feel insecure about that. I've been to Japan by myself. I go out by myself all the time. I don't have a problem being alone. I like my company. However, I think that all the growth that I've done has been in partnerships. That's like relationships, romantic relationships, partners, friends, family. You need an other to be able to truly test whatever work you are doing individually, because it's not like you can be the most. I feel like now everyone's like, I protect my peace. I protect my peace by being alone. And I'm like, yes, it's very easy to protect your peace when you're alone. When I'm alone, I'm so peaceful. I'm so, everything's great. But like, you don't know whether your work is actually working until you're confronted with a situation that you
Mm-hmm.
can't control, where you actually respect and love and want and care about that relationship, where you actually have to do some work. You have to listen. You have to, like, even if you don't agree, you have to come to some kind of like consciousness about what the person is saying to you, and like really be like, okay, am I like that? And that's so important
Yeah.
for us. And that's why I think it is possible. Like, I think that on a show like this, even as people are like, oh, it's so fake, not only are they growing, but I think we can grow as
Mm-hmm.
audience members by like seeing it and discussing it
Mm-hmm.
together, and not being like,
The
well, I don't like
podcast
her
is
because she
so
did that.
important.
Yeah, it is. I love it. And,
Yeah, I love it too.
and I already think about like what we said last time, what you said last time, and it's like changed the way that I look at certain situations. And I think it's like it can make you overall more accepting of others. And I think we really need that to be like, yes, that's not for me, but like I can appreciate that person. Then there's obviously like the villains, and we know that we're gonna get there, but so far Bryce is the one where I'm like, I don't. Anyway, he doesn't do anything offensive and he's not fucking with people.
Not
So,
yet.
no, not yet. I mean,
But yeah, I think I love that. I really, really love what you just said. I wonder if we should end by talking about the meditation and breath work
yeah.
class
Okay.
that
Yes.
Anaya and Kenzie lead. I mean, it's mostly Anaya. I was like, all caps, they need us in there. They
That's what I
actually need
just.
the Love Island room. This is an invitation
I
to
know.
us to come in as
I was
special
like,
guests.
also, thank you for articulating everything that we're not, in the sense
Yes,
that it's like
yes.
when
Let's begin with some quick breaths. I was like, we would never do that.
why would you do that? And then when she's like, put your hands on your chakra, and Trinity's like, which one? It's like you have several. It's like, and then was like, yeah, next time it's gonna cost $200. Like,
Oh yeah, she's like, I'll invoice you next time.
wow.
I was like,
I
these
thought,
Gen Z are business mindset. I'm telling you,
I
I
know.
will never, I will always feel guilty asking people for money
For healing, for healing work, like
for
it is
healing work.
it's like you can pay me to get on the plane to Love Island because traveling's a bitch, but like the session
Mhm.
is free, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it definitely, I loved it because I was like, this is so funny that like everything that we were saying last time came true. And it's like, yes, no, you all do need some like, relaxation. Like you need the soft reset this morning. And then when they were like, we need to start each day with positivity, I'm like, well, you know what? We can do that for them. And they will find out
Hmm.
when they come back that we actually have the Love Island meditation and that we have been
Hmm.
in residency. And so, I think it just is
Hmm.
like validation for us that we are on the right track.
Exactly. Exactly. And Kenzie can still do her groin stretches with us if she so desires.
So
She's very
insane.
passionate about doing the splits and how good it is for the soul.
She she can you know what she reminds me of so much? That whole moment reminded me so much of
Oh my God.
she
That's
is
what Barbie
yoga
needs to be
Barbie.
doing the splits next
I
time.
know. We have to invite her to do the splits. But I was like, this is so rise and shine Barbie or rise and relax Barbie.
So
Yeah.
funny. So
So
funny.
I love that.
So
Well, yeah.
we didn't discuss the recoupling at the end of the episode. Should we just save that for next time, or should
Yeah,
I
let's save
quickly go
that.
through?
I think we should save that for next time and we can just start
Okay,
out with
start
that.
there. Okay.
Um and yeah, I mean, what else is going to happen? I am very excited to see where this
Yes.
goes now. And I think like the season already is so much better than last year, so
Yeah, I think so too. There's a lot more happening early on.
yeah. Yeah, all
So
right. Well, I guess yeah, until next time.
go do your
Everyone
groin splits, your
yeah.
groin stretches.
Go,
Don't do breath because they will make you anxious.
yeah, and
Instead, go watch our meditation video or just, listen to it. We have a version that has no voiceover, that is just music and visuals. We have another version that has a guided meditation about 10 minutes long. Do not listen to it while driving, is my recommendation, but otherwise, anywhere you want, the
yep.
airplane, the bus stop,
Being a
your
passenger in
bed,
a car is good. And
passenger
but
in a
and
car.
it is a meditation about being on Love Island. So if you have always wanted to be on Love Island, then this is your opportunity. You can just go there right now. Just watch the beautiful meditation and you'll be transported. And
Magic.
yeah, let us know if you have any thoughts about any of these episodes, any of these characters, any of the things we've talked about. If there's anything that we are missing or that, you would like to correct us on, we're very open to healthy, criticism.
Hmm. It's all about the
And
discourse.
yeah, for sure. And we definitely appreciate, like, you can baya on us anytime. It's, I think we're good. Because we are here to grow and we are here to thrive and to, be made aware of our blind spots and our opportunities for growth.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. Leave a palm tree if you made it to the end, and we will see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Bye.
Today is a brand new day. Let's start it off with positive energy. Repeat after me.